All right,
Welcome back.
Yes. Hashtag is Breakfast Daily on all social media platforms. The WhatsApp line is 0550-585832. Now, I'll let you introduce our next guest. Because,
why are you
because,
giving me...
because I've known him for, let's say, 20, how many years
So
now?
then why won't you introduce
No,
him?
because I'm too familiar
But
with
you're
him.
assuming that I am not familiar with
No,
him.
but I've known him for 20-something years. How long have you known him for? Let's calculate.
I
Let's do
don't
the
know. I don't know.
math. That was a while ago.
But you see, the very first time I mean, this next guest, a lot of people don't know. I'm sure as we're having that conversation, you get to understand that he's actually very closely linked to Citi.
Okay.
Right? He's a Citi member. He's a citizen, and not by extension.
Okay.
He's one of us. But also, he's very close to my alma mater at International School.
Okay.
So the first time I met him was within those circles. So I also have my own history with him. You know, a lot of the ministry that I did when I was in school was because of his inspiration.
Okay.
You know, I call his wife my sister. You know, so you two, your history there, but mine too is there.
Get your own.
But we're talking about Okai.
Yeah.
I always say Okai, there's only one. The Okai, minister extraordinaire, pastor, a plenipotentiary, you know, and a lot of people, when it comes to contemporary Ghanaian gospel, when they think of the forebearers, they think of him as one of them. And he has raised so many young people through his ministry. He has touched so many lives, and he keeps giving. He's like the gift that keeps on giving, you know, through his music, through his outreach programs. He's one of the people I know every year on his birthday, he's ministering for the benefits of other people, not asking for blessings for himself. And so he's here today. He has a new album that is being launched tomorrow, this weekend. It's all about Okai and his team and what they've been doing behind the scenes. But if we have him here, there's no way we can't allow him to inspire us, to inspire you who are watching, so that you really get to understand his story. And just reiterate the fact that when you see something great or someone who is creating so much impact, there's a journey that has led to that. I hope I've done justice to this intro. Wow. Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, sis. Good morning, sis. Good morning, bro.
Hey,
Charlie, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. It
always
feels at home coming to Citi because this is my home, really.
It is.
You guys are doing fantastic.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for pushing us from behind with the prayers and the suggestions.
It's important.
It's important.
It's important. And you're looking good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Literary night, ITF, explore, all those experiences on campus. We would have, times of service in school, and then Okai will be leading praise and worship on campus. Did you ever see today in your mind's eye 20-something years ago?
I wouldn't say so. I knew I would be singing. I knew I would continue to sing. I never thought I would go full-blown into it. We just enjoyed using our gifts, to praise the Lord and to explore and, create stuff. But along the line, I realized that, look, there was a deeper purpose for this, and I've dived deep into it, and Charlie, until he calls, until he comes, we are doing this forever.
Beautiful.
So let's talk about prior to 20 years ago, when the beginnings of what we're seeing you do now, they were there. Let's talk about much earlier. What was it like growing up? What was your home like? If you have siblings, what was it like being around them? And were there any seeds that were sown looking back for what you're doing now?
It's important you ask this question because just about 2 weeks ago, our head of family passed. He was 90 years.
Okay.
And during the tribute, I realized that this thing started way back. Because everything I thought, I've been through, not knowing he had been through. I'm 45.
Okay.
He is 90.
Yeah.
So I got to realize he worked in Stanchart.
Although you don't look like you're 45.
No, I know.
You just have to.
I like to state it so that people respect me small. But I realized that, he's also been singing all his life.
Wow.
And he, it's a tradition he also picked from his grandfather. And so I realized that, no, this thing has been there all this while. Yeah. These seeds have been sown all this while. And so he was very fond of me. Very, very fond of me. And at any family event, church, home, wherever, he would ask to sing. He would always sing. But in the latter years, he goes like, Nee, you have to sing.
Wow.
So then I realized that, no, this is something that has been passed on over the period. My late father was also a chorister with the Presbyterian Church, a bass singer. My mom loves to sing. If she had a voice for it, she would be more popular than I am. So it's a family thing. Growing up, I was ushered into the Methodist church because my father, who was a Presbyterian, was out of the country. And from Sunday school, I just started picking the harmonies and singing. So my first approach to formalize singing was in Tema Parents Association School. It was the 25th anniversary. I was in class 5. They got a music master to come in. He put us together into a choir. It was just 2 parts. Soprano and alto. The boys were singing alto. The ladies were doing soprano, And I could harmonize easily. Some of the boys were struggling. I found myself mimicking the music master as he was conducting. Then he put me on the spot and taught me how to conduct. Wow. And I believe that just set me on that course.
Wow.
So I started singing, conducting. I went to infantry school. A young 11-year-old boy joined the infantry school choir. I was singing soprano. They made me soprano leader. They realized I could conduct, and so they put me on a table and I conduct the school choir. I did that. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I did that from Form 1 all the way to Upper 6.
My goodness.
Yes.
It's almost like it was fated. There was no way you could dodge that bullet. Yes. It was for you.
No. I mean, there was no way.
Wow.
Even when I got to lower 6, when it was time to get prefects for the school, they were hoping that I would be chapel prefect. I didn't get to be chapel prefect anyway. But I remember one madam introducing me to an expert who came to visit and said, "Oh, this is our music prefect." There was nothing like that. No,
but it's like,
in order to introduce it, like, no, this is our music prefect. So it was like I was set up on that course. I joined the Calvary Road Incorporated. Now Harvest. International Ministries, and that was when I started chasing after the Holy Spirit, because I realized that it wasn't just about singing, but I saw these seniors of mine minister, and you realize that there's something extra. So I wanted that extra, and they introduced us to Maranatha music, integrity music, so I got to hear names like Alvin Slaughter, Ron Kenoli. And as it went on, the Kirk Franklins and all that, and I'm like, no, this thing is interesting. I want to do something like this, But just as a passion, not really as a career or anything. I just realized that I could harmonize, I could rearrange songs. So I wrote my first song in infantry school when Koda came to Form 1.
Oh, this is interesting. This is
getting
interesting.
So what form were you in?
When Kodak came to Form 1, I think I was in Form 5.
Yeah, Form 5.
But he was in the new system, the SS1 system. So typically he would have been in Form 4. So I took a liking to him because he came multi-talented. This chubby, fat, dark boy who could play everything.
Everything.
So I got a song, and I just, in France we call it Zouk. I just accosted him and said, come, bring the keyboard, let's, and then we wrote our first song.
Wow.
Do you remember the song?
I do.
Can you sing a line or two of it?
I can.
Wow.
I was the devil's instrument, enjoying this world to the full. I thought the world was all that mattered, and turned a deaf ear to all the prophets, yeah. But Jesus forgave me and made me his tool, anointed me to proclaim his word. And he deserted his glorious throne from above to reconcile us with the Father. He is the way, the truth, and the life. He came to die for our sins. We gotta make him king of our lives and give praise to the King of Kings.
Wow. Has this song been released anywhere?
I released it on my 4th album, Holy Writings.
Okay.
So how old were you at this point? Must have been what, 15?
Yeah, pretty much.
And so Koda was a little younger. So
was
these
14.
two young boys
Yeah.
sat down,
Yeah.
wrote this song, and it sounds like anything that you
Yeah,
hear
I know.
right?
with the lyrics.
Wow.
But I suppose that's what happens when you're really ordered within ministry.
Yeah.
That's
Right?
it.
It's not about your age, it's not about the strength of your mind. It's about what the Spirit has laid in your heart.
That's
you know.
it. That's it.
And you were blessed to realize that at that age.
True.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But it came with a price to pay, really, because I entered in Francis school. I haven't said this anywhere before, but I was second on the list
Okay.
Wow.
from the common entrance.
Wow.
So, at that level, your parents want
it's a lot of
to
pressure.
see you just steady,
Yeah.
do science,
Yeah.
become an engineer,
Dancing some.
and I really wanted to be a pilot. So,
Okay.
but then it got to a time when the music was also now gaining currency, and I was still studying, but I realized that there was something in this music thing that brings me alive.
Yeah.
So we had these chats. Charlie, are you going to drop the music sometime? And I didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to hear it. So later, when I moved I did a cons French and geography.
Okay.
And then moved into social sciences in the university and everything. One day, my mom mustered courage, and together my auntie says that, so if you have to choose. And I said, you will not want
To hear
to hear the answer. You don't want to hear the answer, but fast forward, here we are.
But did it create, so at that point, I mean, you were young, and I can imagine that we're talking about it as though it was something simple, but I can imagine the burden it was placing on you. Because as a young person who is talented, especially when that talent is coming from a place that you yourself, you haven't fully understood.
That's it.
What kind of emotions, if you can, trace your thoughts back to that point, were you feeling? Did you feel burdened? Were there moments of exclusion? Did you feel sad at certain points? What did you go through?
I was okay. I just felt that, like I told you, I didn't think about it as a career. I just thought that, God has given me something. And suddenly I find myself, fulfilling some purpose. Let me share this story. Now, I told you about Calvary Road Singers.
Yeah.
When I was in Form 1, they were the ish group on campus. So I used to go and watch their rehearsals.
Okay.
Now, Form 1 boy, just behind the window watching them, I learned all their songs.
Wow.
So listen to this true story that happened. There was this guy called Abeku Mills Robertson. He was like the darling boy on campus. He could sing and everything. Now, he was their soloist, and for a particular rehearsal, he wasn't there.
Okay.
And people were afraid to touch an Abeku song. So they asked the guys who would be able to lead the song. Nobody owned up. And somebody said, that young boy over there, he's always singing when we are singing. Bring him. And this is a boys' school. They'll just zook you. They'll just accost you. I went, picked the song, and nailed it. Whoa. That very Saturday, they got me a black trousers. It was the sit formers who wear black trousers. So they got a short sit former, black trousers. Took me to Agri Memorial for a concert.
Wow.
Yes. Again, they put me on a table.
Because you were
I was singing at the Agri Memorial. They were a mixed school. They were trying to figure out who is singing.
Yeah.
You know, they put me on a table and the whole school. It was like David defeating Goliath, and people were just singing. They were just carrying me. And so I realized that no, there's something about this that I can't suppress.
Yes.
I just have to exploit, you know, just try things. And so within my year group, everybody was going through a new members class. I became an automatic member of Calvary Road.
Well, you earned your spot.
I'm telling you, it's so it's been that.
Yeah.
If you ask anybody about Neo Kind from Francisco, they will say, who is When you say Ernest, that short guy. They're like, oh yes, we always knew. You know, he would do this. We always knew he would do this, you know. But we give glory to God.
Yeah. How do your parents feel about you now?
Well, there's a sense of pride, I think. You know, when anybody wants to use my mom's route to get me to do something for them. You know, my dad passed pretty early. I was in Benin then on a year abroad program. I read French. Okay. That was the year 1999. That's when he passed. That's interestingly the year I wrote Mukobe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he knew, but he didn't get to experience
the full gamut of what you've become.
Yeah. So, but my mom has lived through everything.
The different phases.
Wow. I remember my first album, I said, Charlie, you have to sew into this thing. So she gave me money to go and do the recording.
Wow, I love it.
Oh yes, and the first time I was on radio, you know, we woke up in the morning, I was on, you know, they were playing my song and the whole family gathered. She like hearing the song, Charlie.
That's a different kind of experience.
I know,
I tell you.
But let's talk about post-school. So you mentioned that you studied French. So 1999, thereabouts, you were in Benin, year abroad, came back, you finished school. What was professional life like?
Well, so I left Tech. I think I did my service with Gapoha, GPHA. So I was with the MIS department. In fact, I was supposed to be in corporate development, but there was nothing to do. So I was always at the MIS. And it helped because I met my wife online.
Oh,
online.
If you've heard of the thing called Ghana Chat.
Oh yes.
Before all
these ones.
Yeah. I used to evangelize on Ghana Chat. And I'll go there and then I'll either type in Ghana or French or something, then get somebody's attention and then, you know, evangelize, do quiet time. So I started doing quiet time with her.
Wow.
You know, every morning. Yeah.
Ministry in different ways.
Yeah. So Gapo was exciting, but just when we were maintained after our service and all that, then I felt the very first ever strong urge from the Lord to focus on ministry and not to work. It was difficult.
Okay.
It was difficult. I mean, I'll be home, and it was an instruction that didn't come with the next line of action.
Yeah.
And my friends will send me, job offers, and there was one I even took, one of these big multinationals. I went all the way to the final, I think we're over 900 people, to the final interview. On the morning, I felt the urge again, and I called in to cancel. Man. In fact, they got a third party to source us they called. I didn't want to mention the name. They called that, is everything okay with you? Wow. But I felt the edge so strong.
Yeah.
And I couldn't explain to anybody, not my mom, no. So strong. And it was in that year that on one of my trips to KNUST, because I used to go help the pop choir, those I left behind, God gave me 10 praise songs and confirmed that I needed to record an album.
Wow.
So I called Koda when I got to Kumasi. He said, Charlie, come to Tadi, let's see what we can do. Yeah. We started working, and he said, oh, that's Mokobe's song that you taught about steamers. I think it should be on this album. Like, really? He said, oh, yes. So then we added it and added 109. And the next moment, we had an album. Wow. And we're doing this on a Pentium 2 that Joe Bicham had bought.
Wow.
Wow. Pentium 2.
I'm telling you.
If you understand what a Pentium 2 is, if you had to use it today, you won't finish your work in 1 hour.
No. Pentium 2, even Word documents, you go tired because the machine is slow.
So slow.
But it was fast in those days.
Of course, that's what we knew.
Yeah.
The dial-up internet.
You know, there were some plugins, and when Koda used the plugin, we know that you have to go and find some food to eat.
Yeah, because
for the thing to load.
Yeah, when you finish eating, by the time you come back, it's finishing.
My.
So that was a Mokobe's story. I mean, just amazing.
Wow.
And I didn't know my life was going to change after, but my life changed right after. Wow. Like, this thing came out and suddenly all over the place.
Yeah. No, the song, I mean, the way I can describe it, because the first time I heard it, I think I was on the South Industrial Road around New Times, and I heard it in the taxi. I was like, what song is this? You know, I was like, what song is this? Then they say, Okai. I said, we knew Okai.
Who is that?
I mean, we knew Okai, because I know Okai.
Yeah, so which one?
No, we knew Okai. And I think, what year was it?
So 2003, December.
Yes. So I have a story. So
so I had just come back to Ghana briefly from Mission Field.
Okay.
Because I went to Kenya in 2002. In 2003, I came back for like a month or two and then went back. So I was in a taxi. And I think that's why I was on that road, because I was going to the Kodeshi area. So I said, which new kind? Is it the one that I know? I said, but there's something wild though. Yeah. I remember the experience.
Yeah.
You know, and I felt the national nature. It's like the song seemed to have taken the nation.
Yeah, just took it over.
You know?
Took it over. So December 2003. So by then I was in high school. I was a pioneer at an international school, and we had started in October. So by December, this song is making waves. Now, Okai knows, or what a lot of people don't know is that throughout school I was ministering.
Yeah, okay.
When I get the chance.
Okay.
And for a young lady of Ghana origin, a lot of the local songs we were singing at the time were either Infanti or Tree, which struggled to look for Ghana and everyone's. And that's my heritage. Yeah. So hearing this, and in a style that has the potential to catch international attention, it was it for us. You know, and we would just be singing it. So those times you play small on the Discman, listen, write down what you think is Ghana, then go back, practice it. And look, it took a lot of people to different places. Yeah. To different places. Yeah. And almost 20 years on, it's still raining.
It's still fresh.
It's still fresh.
That's the thing about the song.
It's still fresh.
You know?
Yeah.
It's still fresh. I mean, that's the double. That's the cross I had to carry, because Mokobe was so big that some of it, I call my songs children. Some of his siblings struggled. Yeah. So there was Wanana on that album, but people thought Wanana was on my second album. Oh. Because they won't play any other song but Mokobe.
Yeah.
I sent it to Paul Uswan, Dr. Paul Uswan, the bishop.
Yeah.
He was then at Adom FM, and I wanted him to listen to Wanana and another song.
Yeah.
But he called the next morning. He said, no, the Mokobe. He's actually found someone to translate for him. And he played it every single morning. I'm like, wow, God, this thing.
I got to sing it, I actually ministered it when I was in the university. Then I was with the Living Streams Campus Choir, you know, and then I had to do one of the lead parts, you know, and so again, learn a language that I was not familiar with, but that's when it began to minister to me. But before we continue, we have the Mokobe video, so let's take a look at it, so that those of you who are too young to understand what we are talking about, you get an inkling of that.
Yeah. Now, this is the new...
the
Mokobe
remix.
So this is the new Mokobe that is on this new album I'm about to release. Yes.
Okay.
But you released it as a single.
Yes.
Was it last year?
So first... last year.
Last year, so 2021.
Yes.
Yes,
what inspired this?
This particular one?
Considering the heights to which the original one had gotten to.
You are such a prophetic interviewer. You know, during the lockdown, I got the opportunity to be on Riverman's show. He was doing something on Facebook, talking to couples and stuff. And he asked me what was the greatest challenge I had with my music ministry. And I said, the after Mokobe experience. I said, what is it? I said, look, everything, I've written great songs, but everything is pitched against Mokobe. You're like, is it like Mokobe? You know, so it was a challenge for me. Then he said, can I share something with you? I said, go ahead. He said, look, don't fight it. Leverage on it.
Okay. Wow.
So that's what he told me. Don't fight, leverage on it. So I said, okay. So now they want Mokobe. So they'll get Mokobe on every album.
Thank you.
I do.
Thank you.
I like it.
Thank you.
I like it.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
We like it.
Yes. And it's working. So I went to Koda. I said, okay, I had this song and, you know, and once he heard the Mokobe, I said, Nee, let's do something new. Let's do a praise. So he cooked the beat and everything, and then we latched on, and it just took everybody.
So now we have a praise version
I tell
of
you.
Mokobe.
I tell you.
It's wonderful.
I have Mokobe in Ever, I have Mokobe in Tree, I have Mokobe in French, but not recorded, you know, and in English. You know, I have an R&B Mokobe, which I featured Ike Nano and the late Danny Nete, you know. So if you want Mokobe, you will get Mokobe.
Thank you.
You see, j'oubliais que tu parles le français, you know. We should have been speaking. I said I forgot that he speaks French. You know, we should have been speaking. Doucement. Yes, doucement.
Because
you know, it's not there yet.
It's not where. It's not where. I was walking around malls speaking French and asking for things, doing my
Awesome.
It was
That's a
necessity.
missionary.
You know, when you find yourself in a situation where it's survival of the fittest, you find a way.
You learn how to.
Oh, you have to.
Oh, yeah.
And the French people today are such that if you don't speak their language or at least attempt, they get offended.
Yes.
They'll pretend they don't understand.
Yeah. But I also, it's interesting you say that because when you do make the attempt,
then they try to
and they will meet you halfway and say,
Yes.
"Oh, I can speak English."
But I mean,
Yes.
we can't exhaust the story of your journey.
Oh, sure,
in 30 minutes. We cannot. As for that, maybe a book or a documentary, that's for another day.
It's good
but
you say that.
let's talk about the new album. I am so excited about it. Every new Okai release is exciting, but for some reason, this one just hits me differently.
I know.
So let's talk about the new album. What's it called? What's the experience creating it's been like?
So this album is called Revealing Jesus, and there's a story to it. Sometime 2017, 18, I was ministering in Kumasi for a friend, Pastor Kwame Ami here, and he had a prophetess friend in the service. She hadn't experienced my ministry ever.
Okay.
So she was caught in some third heaven somewhere. So as soon as I was done, she picked a sheet of paper and started pouring what she received. That in 2020, the Lord's going to give you a song on breaking seals and other songs from the book of Revelation.
Wow.
And it's going to transform your ministry. You're going to move into new dimensions. So she just wrote it on a sheet of paper. I took it with me back home. My wife loves keeping such things because I would just dump it somewhere and then move on. So she reminded me sometime during the lockdown that, hey, that's prophecy. So I went for the sheet of paper and realized it was 2020.
Okay.
That very night, I received 15 songs to portions of scripture in the book of Revelation.
Wait, what are you saying? 15?
Yeah.
Wow.
In one night?
That's more than a standard album.
Yeah.
That very night. So it's like I opened the book of Revelation and the tunes were just pouring to the words that John, the Revelator, has already put there. It was just pouring, just pouring, just pouring, just pouring. I woke up the next morning, I'm like, this thing is real. So I called Koda again. I'm like, Charlie,
Something has happened.
My brother.
said, oh, you will meet, take it easy, it's COVID.
It's COVID. COVID is pushing you to realms that.
So as soon as they eased the lockdown and everything, the Mokobe was the first song I did with him, Then I said, Koda, but the other songs are such that we need to have an experience. So we started working on it. And last year, by this time, we got together at the Hephzibah Christian Center and recorded 7 of them.
Whoa.
Live.
And the experience was real. We said we'll start at 6 p.m. And my team lead said, Bani, let's do it indoors, so the rain. I'm like, yes, I know, but there's something about this garden I feel we should do it here. 5 o'clock, it started raining. We had set everything up. Dance, sound check and everything. 5 o'clock, it started raining. Everybody who I invited came and they're like, what are we going to? I'm like, we are going to record. By 5:45, I went to change in my room. I was there with Zuta. Zuta was like, he was looking for a right opportunity to ask me the question. He said, oh, so what can we do? I said, oh, but if this thing doesn't come off, it's not to my shame. It's the one who sent me.
Exactly.
So he has to ensure that,
The
5:55,
audacity of a believer.
5:55, it was still raining. I dressed up, went downstairs. By 5:59, it stopped raining.
What?
I'm telling you.
So you met the 6 o'clock deadline.
We started. So 6 o'clock, I told the guys, come and sit down. The instrumentalists sometimes with water and everything. So Koda was very, are you sure? There were some droplets on, was a garden. So when
the leaves.
the breeze.
The trees.
So I remember we started there was a breeze and something, and the coda looked at me. I said, no.
Yeah.
It stopped.
Yeah.
This is holy water.
We are going.
We started from song 1.
Yeah.
The presence, I mean, it was something else. Wow. So this was supposed to be even the first in the series of, there were 15 songs.
Yeah.
But after the 7 songs, adding it to the previous one, the Mokobe Praise, I told Koda, look, let's let this first one go.
Yeah.
And then regroup and do the rest. And trust me, it's been very intense. Because every one of these songs takes you to a deep place. I mean, a real deep place. Wow. And I realized that, look, this work is about God and what He wants to do. Yeah. So follow His lead, and you won't stress about, hey, do I have another hit song? Yeah. Do I have another? Yeah. You know, just follow His lead and He'll do what He wants to do. Yeah. So that's where Nano Lala and Breaking Sales that I featured MOG. There's this song I featured Pastor Isaiah. That one will be out on Sunday. I mean, and then there's Eugene Zuta. And then a song that the Lord gave my wife, also doing worship. And she's been bugging me, when will you record my music? I'm like, your music just came. Yeah. It came to meet a queue. Yeah. So relax. You know, but she woke up one day and said, but you are doing the songs of Revelation. This song is also Revelation. Wow. And I listened. I sent it to Koda to rearrange. And as I sit here, it's the new Mokobe. It's called Krong. You hear that song and it takes you to a deep place.
Wow. Okay, so let's listen to Krong. We have it. Let's listen to Krong. In honor of my sister. You know I got your back, right? Let's listen to Krong. We have it.
Yeah.
Bring your whole team here to come and do this song live.
I think so.
One of these days. So let's, push the album, do all the activities we have to do, and then we'll come back to Chrome.
No, I think we need to have an
There's
experience.
Something about
I believe it.
We do. And a lot of the other songs too that we're going to be blessed by as the album unfolds. But there's also a high school outreach, which we've been doing forever and ever. But there's one. When is it?
On Sunday, I'm going to AIS, Akosombo International School. The interesting twist is that my firstborn, Dede, is a chapel prefect there now.
Wow.
He said, Daddy,
the
before
chapel prefect that you didn't get.
You see, he's gotten it now. And she said, Daddy, before I leave the school, you have to come. Wow. You have to come. But we've been to Akosombo many times. Okay. We've been to TIS. Okay. Last week, we had Ghana Christian International High School or something else. You know, that for me is core to ministry. You know, I don't feel tired doing it. And I feel a sense of, you know, purpose when I get on those grounds. I was in last month, so that was in July. I was in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, and I met a young lady who was also supposed to minister with me. She ministered so powerfully. So after the event, I wanted to just reach out to her and all. And I said, "Oh, you were in my school."
Oh, wow.
You were in my school.
Wow.
She was also in AIS then.
Okay.
He said it was after that night that I also decided to pursue this, you know. And when I get such testimonies, you know, they make me feel too old. Like, but I'll do that many times over a show at the National Theatre. Trust me, because this is already when God says the fields are white.
Yeah.
These are people that God has gathered.
Yeah. Ready for you.
Who are going to be leaders. And that night can just change somebody's perspective for life.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. So give us the details on that. So it's happening.
So we're going to AIS. It's from the music thing starts from 6 to 8 p.m.
On Sunday.
On Sunday. Okay. And that's how I'm celebrating my 45th.
Nice.
See, I
birthday.
told you. That's how to celebrate his birthdays.
You know, taking the whole team there will be supported by Sweet Music. I mean, they've caught the whole vibe with the school evangelism. So they bring the equipment. And so imagine, you know, when you're in school, you hear all this Bongpa equipment. And imagine hearing top quality sound. You know, and anytime we go, I discover people that the Lord's going to use.
Okay.
You hear them sing innocently, but you realize that no, this person is going to be somebody great. Wow. You know. And
you know what? We have to bring you back again. It's like the time doesn't just.
But before you go, you have to sing Moko Bell.
Oh, no.
The microphone is there.
No P.
A cappella, and your voice is silky.
No
on
P.
its
No
own,
P.
so
No P.
So please.
Once I'm here.
For you. We'll harmonize if we can.
See you. Nanyumo che ofe nyamanche oni nena nichumo imenje oyi omo bona leda oni chumo benagbe nuncho moko beni tomobo lele moko beni tomobo nohewo minje oyi nuncho minje oyi moko beni tomobo Yeniling, yes, woman, ye found Kehewaleng, Nuncho, Moko Beni Tamobo, Mike Michui, Bakam for Bo, Mike Migbe. Bache oyi mi ke mi gbe mo ke lala baji o yida keda hallelujah hallelujah.
Thank you very much.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you
It's
so
always
much.
a pleasure. And
Really
thank you.
blessing.
Really grateful for
Yeah.
you spending a little time with us today. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Such a blessing.
So on the 18th, on all streaming platforms, we'll play, you know, they'll get all 8 songs, and I know they're going to be blessed.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you. So we've been speaking to Okai.
Yep.
He's a musician, music producer, a minister, a pastor. We shouldn't forget. And it's been a blessing and an honor to have him in the studio this morning. 18th, go to all streaming platforms, look for the new album, Revealing Jesus.
That's it.
And be blessed. So now let's take the trailer for Dress for Mourning, because tomorrow, the 17th of September 2022, we're premiering this telenovela right here on Citi TV at 9 p.m.